Oh, you didn't print out the PowerPoint? Is that print out? Oh. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm so glad there's a lot of people in here. They told me it was only like 5 people in the room at first. Do I need this, Irma? No? Okay. I'm Victoria Wright, and I'm a senior certification officer. So is everybody here already certified? Okay. Everybody? Nobody's still doing their application? You're not certified? Okay. So basically this is your business is certified, now what? Because people always ask us, now that I've received my certification, what can I do with it? And how do I use it? So the first thing that you should use with your certification is to market, advertise, and build relationships. So even though there's no universal MBE, WBE symbol, I always tell people to try to use the MBE, WBE on your advertising. If you have a business card, if you have a website, anything you use that has your business name on it. Some people, I've seen it on people's vans. Like if you have a van or a business card, to put MBE, WBE certified on it, so that people know. It's basically to show that you're a credible company. You've been audited, and the city of Chicago or Cook County are saying that you're a credible business. So it's a good thing to use it in your marketing and your advertising. 100% you have to network, because with the MBE, WBE certification is that you qualify to be a subcontractor. So I always tell people too, you don't have to have certification to bid. If it's a $10,000 contract, if you see something in our bid opportunity list and you think you can do it alone, you do not have to have certification. You would be the prime. Because if it's $10,000 and you could do it alone, then you're the prime and you can bid. But if it's a $10 million contract and it's something that you can't do alone, then you would be a sub. And then when we're looking for a sub, you do have to have the M or the W. Okay, you might even have to have the DBE or ACDBE, but that's a whole nother workshop. So the M and W is a local program, where the DBE and the ACDBE is a federal program. Okay, so definitely you want to network with prime contractors. Where do you meet prime contractors? At different conferences. We have a construction summit that's coming up on February 8th, next Wednesday. I think she has the flyers out there with the address. So if you do anything in construction or anything that you can help somebody with construction, I do recommend that you attend our event. But don't stop with our event. There are other agencies that have events where they come out, they tell you what's coming out in a contract. So you have to network. You know, if you're a smaller company, if you can't attend all of them, okay. But if it's 2 people, send somebody to one event and send somebody else to another event. That's the only way you find out about what's going on and what contracts are going to be available to small businesses. So I always tell people to network. We also have a big vendor fair in May. So this where we have a construction summit that's basically based on what construction is coming out. So we have it in January or February so that you know what's going to come out in the construction season of the warmer months. So that's why we always have it in the wintertime. But the vendor fair is everything. So the vendor fair is going to talk about everything every contract that's going to come out with the city of Chicago. Okay? So I definitely always recommend our events, of course, but you have to check all the other events. So CPS, CTA, and sometimes people get confused and think CTA and CPS is the city of Chicago. They are not. They have their own procurement process. You have to check their website. You have to find out what their procurement website is. So we have the Park District, we have CTA, CHA. All of these are different industries that you have to check on your own, okay? Another thing I always tell people is sometimes small businesses forget colleges, universities. They have diversity programs at the colleges, at universities, at hospitals. So these are all places that you need to be looking for contracts. Don't stop with the city of Chicago. So you have to do your due diligence to find out what are the procurement processes in these other agencies, okay? On our website, on the home page, on the right-hand side, I think we have CTA, CHA, Chicago Park District, maybe Metropolitan Water Reclamation. On the right-hand side of our webpage, you click there, it'll take you directly to these departments' procurement page so that you can see what contracts they have available, okay? So I should have had this one first because this is like one of the most important things. Now that you are certified, please keep up with your certification letter. We get calls all the time of, I don't know my due dates, I need my letter for a vendor. You have to keep up with your certification letter because we don't send a letter every year. We only send it every 5 years. So when you get your certification letter, it has the dates of when you should do a no change affidavit. It's the same date every year, but annually. So we're not going to send you a letter saying, hey, your no change affidavit is due. You have to keep up with that date. And then when we process it, all you're going to get is an email saying your no change affidavit has been processed. We're not going to send you the letter again. Of course, if you call and you need the letter, we'll send it to you. And then we're even setting up, so everybody in here has used C2 now, right? Because you did an online application. So now in C2, we can share the letter so that you can go in there and print it yourself. So going forward, as soon as you do a no change affidavit, we're going to be hitting share. So that when you go to your page and you click on view, you go to the bottom of the page and your letter will be there. Okay? I mean, that's like if next month you can't find the letter or 6 months later you can't find the letter. You'll be able to find it on C2 going forward. Submit your no change affidavit 60 days prior to the due date. Why do we say 60 days? Because we get hundreds of no change affidavits that might be due at the same time. So if you submit it 60 days, that gives us enough time to complete the audit and you still don't end up expired. So say you're on a contract, but your certification date is February 1st, today, and you didn't submit your no change affidavit. If a vendor looks at your file, it's going to basically he's going to see that you are expired because your no change affidavit hasn't been updated. So we ask you to please submit it 60 days ahead to give us a chance to complete the process of auditing it and updating it. Okay? We tell people that all the time, and then they submit it 1 week before, and then they rush. And we can't rush because you submitted yours late, but somebody else submitted theirs 60 days ahead of you. So we're going to do the one that came in 60 days ahead, okay? If you need an extension letter, contact our office. So it does happen where sometimes somebody's on a contract, but their no change affidavit hasn't been completed. You can get an extension letter. So if you call the office and your certification ended February 1st, you can call the office. We'll give you an extension letter. Basically gives us time to complete your no change affidavit. So we'll put 30 days or 60 days on the extension letter so that your certification is still valid if you're on a contract and you need that. Submit all changes within 10 days of the change. So if you just got certified in November, but you decide to move your location this March, send us a copy of your lease. We need to know that you changed locations. If you change your email, if you change your phone number, you need to send us those changes. If you had a partner, but the partner bought you out or you bought your partner out, that we definitely need to know. So we get calls all the time where somebody said, well, you sent my letter to the wrong address, or I never got an email. Well, did you move? And you didn't tell us? So, of course, we're going to send the letter to the wrong address. So if you have a change, if your no change affidavit is due like within a month or two, you can wait for the no change affidavit. But if you know it's a while before your no change affidavit, you should send the change immediately. We prefer that you send it 10 days after the change. But you can submit it with your no change affidavit as well. Make sure your state license is active. I have so many no change affidavits waiting in my queue right now because people's state license is either dissolved or not in good standing. So you know you have to have a state license to run your business. You have to keep that up to date. If I don't know what you all have to do, if you have to pay a fee, make sure you paid the fee, because that is definitely going to hold up your no change affidavit. I have at least six firms right now that I cannot approve their no change affidavit because their state license is either dissolved, not in good standing, or involuntarily dissolved. So you don't want me to get it, check your state license, and then I find out it's dissolved, because that's going to delay your no change affidavit. That can delay you on contracts. So try to keep up with your license. And not just that license. If you're an electrician or plumber, any type of license that you're supposed to keep up to date, keep it up to date. Okay? And I always tell people too, if you're a new company, even if you're not a new company, try to keep up with all your paperwork. You know, and nowadays, because we are doing everything online, it's a good thing, because that sort of forces your hand to keep up with your documents. Scan them. As soon as you have something, scan it, put it on a flash drive so that you don't lose it. If you have to put it in 2 different places, you know, you might lose this flash drive, you keep it on 2 flash drives. Or if you have partners, both of you keep it. So that's always important. We get people who sometimes not computer savvy or don't want to do it. Find somebody who can do it for you. Scan your documents, scan your tax returns, keep everything somewhere where if we need it, you can send it to us, okay? Because that delays things too when people can't find documents. When you're doing a no change affidavit, that's the time that you should consider any expansion of codes. So if you are just certified and you decided to get certified in electrical work, but you decide you want to add painting. So if you know that you're going to add painting to your business, you can add that next code to your certification. But what you have to do is you have to send us a letter, or basically you do it electronically now, a letter stating you want to add this code. But you also have to have proof that you can do that work. So if you decide to add the painting code, you have to say that you've had some experience in painting, or you've hired someone who has experience in painting, and you want to add that code. So that's what we're looking for. When you ask for an expansion, we have to be able to prove that you can do that work. That becomes really important in construction. So anybody doing construction and you decide that you want to add a construction code, you should definitely make sure you can do that work. So,
What is a product that you're adding? You sell products?
If you're selling products, then you would just be proving to us that you can supply that product. So if it's a service or a product, you let us know how you're going to provide that product. Okay. So of course some codes are going to be easier to prove than others. I have a construction company right now that's trying to add something, but I need to know, can you do that work? Or do you have somebody who can do that work? Do you have a resume that can prove that you can do that type of work? But my point to you all, because you're already certified, is that you can do expansion of your codes. So don't think that you're stuck in just what you asked for when you first did your application. You can expand codes. You can expand codes at any time. You can always do an expansion in between a no change affidavit. Anytime in between your 5 years is fine.
You just go to the website and pull up.
Yes, so it'll be just like you trying to do a no change affidavit. Instead of hitting no change or recert, you would hit expansion. So I cannot stress enough that you have to have a good business card. I go to so many events, and when people give me their business card and I cannot tell what they do from their business card, what do you think happens to the business card? It goes in the trash can. So if you're at an event like our construction summit or our vendor fair and you're talking to an agency and maybe you had a really, really good conversation and they're interested in your work, but then you give them a business card that they cannot connect you to what you do, they're not going to keep that business card. So I always tell people, if you just say Smith and Company, what does Smith and Company do? If I have your business card on my desk and I cannot tell what you do, that's a problem. Okay? Another thing that a lot of companies do not have is a capability statement. That is excellent marketing when you're going out to an event. You want more than just a business card to hand to somebody. A capability statement is basically what you do, how you do it, do you have pictures. So I tell people in this class, do a Google search. Just do capability statement, because your style might be different from somebody else's style. It's worth the money. You can have it done at Staples if you want to use glossy paper. If you don't want to use glossy paper, if you haven't been in business that long, it could be 1 page. But if you've been in business for a long time and you want a booklet form, do that. Put pictures if you're a painter or landscaper. Show some pictures of the work that you've completed. Put it on your capability statement. Because even when you go to these events, your goal is a face-to-face meeting. When you go to these meetings or you go to these events, it doesn't stop with you just giving out your card or your capability statement. You want a meeting. If you can get their card, you want their card. Why? So you can email them to death until they say that they'll take a meeting with you. Okay? You can't convince somebody that you can do the work until you get a face-to-face. They want to talk to you. They want to hear that you've got experience, that you can do the work. So have a capability statement when you go out to these events. And even if you just have to do one at home, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as people can see, hey, I did this, this, this. I worked for this company, this company, this company. This is what I'm capable of doing. That's basically what a capability statement is. So I highly recommend it when you go out to events. Another a meeting that we have here, if you're in construction, is we have pre-bid meetings. So if there's a construction job that's coming out, we have a pre-bid meeting in this room to talk about the construction project. Anybody construction here? Okay, landscaping, you consider construction too.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That was my next question.
Yes, you are. So, because if somebody's building something, sometimes they do the landscape around the building. But when we have a pre-bid meeting, who comes to the pre-bid? The people that's going to bid on the job. So maybe you're not going to bid, but you want to be in the same room with the people who are going to bid. So what do? You give out your business card. You give out your capability statement. And even if it's construction and maybe you're an accountant, maybe they need accounting services. Maybe they need fencing, because even though it's construction, they put up those fences around the construction sites all the time. Maybe it's security. They have security around construction sites all the time. So if you come to the meeting, you can find out, hey, how can I help you out with this construction job? Or I looked at the bid information, and I see that, you're going to have security there. I can do security. But you have to be in the room. So when you get our bid opportunity list, it gives you the date of the pre-bid meeting. If you can get down here, it's a good thing. I mean, it's worth the networking time. And I'm almost sure the other agencies do the same thing, because before a prime bids, they might have questions. So you can come in and hear their questions so that you know what to ask them, or you know what's coming up in the bid. So that's a good time to get all type of information. So if you don't get DPS alerts, you can go to our website. Anybody else need this card on how to sign up for DPS alerts? We send out a bid opportunity list every Monday. So the bid opportunity list tells you what bids are on the street right now as of that Monday. So you can check it. I think she put some out there. So it tells you what the city is purchasing right at that time. But we also have a buying plan. So we are making new buying plans. So I only have one. We call this our Bible, because this has all the contracts that will come out for the next 12 months. So I think the newest one is going to be at the Construction Summit next Wednesday. They'll like, hey, this is the newest buying plan. But in this book, it has all the contracts that are going to come out for the city, CHA, Park District, Public Schools, CTA, City Colleges, McCormick Place, Public Building Commission, all in one book. So basically you would go through the book to find out what's coming up so that you can prepare it just in case you do want to bid. Yes.
Oh, it's not on the website.
It is on the website. It is. So if you just want an electronic copy, it's on our homepage. But we usually try to get this out when I do this class. So I was mad. That was another reason I was late, because I was trying to get books. But they said they'll be out for the construction summit next Wednesday. So yeah, if you want a copy now, it is on the homepage of our website. But I always tell people, look for the date of when for landscaping, if it's somebody finna do something for landscaping and it says the second quarter of 2017, so then you can prepare to be ready to bid on it. How do you prepare? You go find the old contract. So the City of Chicago, on our website, at the top of the page is an icon for contracts. And you can go to that page and do a search. Either you can search by a vendor name or you can search by your NAICS code. So if you do landscaping, you can put in landscaping. Every single contract for the City of Chicago, for every company that has landscaping, will come up. Why do you want that? So you want to know what they bidded on the last time, what kind of jobs they're doing now, and when it ends. So if a contract is about to end, you know that the city is eventually going to take that back out to bid. If it doesn't get extended, because sometimes that does happen. We might have a contract and we extend it. But if you find out that the contract is going to end in June of 2017, you can call that department. So if you know the department is Department of Transportation that has a landscaping contract that's about to end, you can ask, hey, is this contract really going to end or is it going to be extended? They might know, they might not know. They can't tell you what to bid. They can't tell you how to bid, but they can tell you if it's going to be an extension or if it's going to go out for bid. Sometimes it might change. So it might say the third quarter of 2017, it got pushed back. Why? Maybe the money wasn't there. But it's always in the book because it's going to eventually come out because that department is requesting that service or that product. But all this stuff ties in. The bid opportunity list, the buy-in plan, all ties in. You go to find out research about a contract that you are interested in. You can pull that contract, you can see what they bid, and you can see the services. So then you can find out, hey, well, maybe I don't do this, but I need to add it. Maybe I don't put up flowers, I only do bushes. But the contract is asking for flowers, so you might say, hey, maybe I need to start doing flowers. So because you know when that contract comes out in June, you need both. Okay? So this prepares you. You get to read the contract, you get to read what somebody else bidded on a contract. And then we have a class called How to Navigate the DPS website, where they actually show you how to find all that stuff on our website. Okay? We also have a bid takeout list. When somebody comes down here to get the bid information, online we have everybody who took out that bid. So if all these people over here came and got a bid for security and you want to try to sub with them, you can call all these people because it's transparency. It's freedom of information. So we ask for a business card from everybody who takes out a bid. So you can go on there, you can see who your competition is going to be. You can see who you could possibly collaborate with. You can find out if you can do a joint venture. That's when that capability statement and that good business card is going to come in handy. Because if you call them and say, hey, I see that you might be bidding on such and such, such and such, I want to show you maybe what I could do to help you with that contract. Okay, so all this stuff is available online, and it's free to you to use to grow your business. And it's workshops. So, of course, you should attend our workshops. The county does workshops. Other agencies do workshops. The workshops are good so that you get to know the agency. I also recommend Business Affairs and Consumer Protection that's in this building on the 8th floor. We're on the 8th floor on one end. Business Affairs is on the other. Business Affairs does the business licenses. So, of course, you need to keep your business license up to date. But they have really great workshops on business plans, social media. You know, I don't tweet. I don't know if you all tweet. but you might need a class to learn how to tweet, because that's what people are doing nowadays. But they do a class to show you how to use social media to build your business. They have classes on financing, how to finance your business if you need startup money or if you need capital to do something else. So they have a wealth of workshops, and I really do recommend. Even if you've already started your business, they have really good workshops too. So I'm glad you all have the PowerPoint with the sister agencies, so you have this information. These are the phone numbers for all of our sister agencies, and like I said, you can find them on our website on the right-hand side of the page that you can click to and go directly to their procurement website. But I always try to put this information in so that you can contact them directly if you have a question. Okay? And even on our bid opportunity list, our departments are listed on the, so if it's a bid out, it tells you what department, and you can call that department. I can't tell you they're going to answer your question. Can't guarantee it, but if it's not, really a detailed question, they should be able to answer. And then you also have the contract administrator from our office on the bid opportunity list. So we have a contact here in procurement services, and you can also call the department that bid is coming out of. Okay. Utilized assist agencies. So there are over 20 assist agencies in the city of Chicago. Does anybody utilize an assist agency? No? Okay, so basically an assist agency is a chamber of commerce. So most neighborhoods have their own chamber of commerce. So, and some of them are better than others. We have a list. I don't know if she brought the list down, but we have a list of assist agencies that the city of Chicago work with, like Chatham Business Association, South Shore Chamber of Commerce, HACIA, Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. There's one in Inglewood. Now, there's one in every neighborhood just about. So our list, they're spread out within the city. They help you with your certification. The better ones even have like meetings where they might call in CTA, or they might call in Whole Foods, and they have a meeting so that vendors and small businesses can talk directly to these agencies. So they do charge a membership fee, and I don't know what that membership fee is. All of them have different prices, but they have events too. So you might not have to pay for the event, but if you want to be a member of a chamber of commerce, if it's a good one, it's worth it. I do recommend going to your chamber of commerce. Some of them have really good contacts, so they get people in to come and speak to vendors all the time. Okay. I can't stress this one enough. Read instructions carefully. So if you're reading a bid, you need to read the instructions. The most important thing is with a bid is you have to get it here on time. So if it says it's due here Monday morning at 12 o'clock, if you get here at 12:01, the people who work in this room, they are not going to accept it. So time is of the essence. If it's something that's supposed to be in, make sure you get it in. So we understand that government solicitations for bids, proposals, and qualifications contain a lot of information and may have mandatory forms to complete. However, non-responsive bids must be rejected. Rejected bids increase the cost of work to the city and may result in your firm not getting the contract. So I want to read it to you, even though it's in here, because if you forget something, it basically just voids out your whole bid. If you're supposed to be certified and you didn't put your certification letter in there, it voids out your whole system. I had a guy who bid on something, but he was in the middle of his certification. Like, we were still auditing his forms, but he thought because he had submitted the application that he was okay. He was not okay because he didn't have an approval letter. So you have to make sure you put all the documents in. Whatever they're asking for, you have to put those documents in. So once you pick up a bid, and it's something maybe you don't understand, that's when you go to the bid opportunity list and you contact the procurement person to ask them the question. So if it's a document that you don't understand that you're supposed to submit, then you contact procurement. And somebody in procurement can tell you what the document is. They can't give you all the answers, but they can answer your questions about what it is that you're supposed to be submitting, okay? So make sure you read all the directions. Have all your facts right. The telephone number and email address of the procurement staff assigned to, and this is what I just said, to your solicitation is listed in the bid opportunity list. Always refer to this person with questions. Make sure you know when the solicitation is due. The date and the time is important. Missing information can disqualify your bid. A missing signature, a math error, or the failure to complete all documents can be cause for a rejected bid. And that's everywhere, not just with the city of Chicago. Yes. No. No charge to place a bid. So I'm not going to read all of these because the city of Chicago has lots of ordinances. So we put ordinances in place to help you win a bid, basically. The next 3 slides are talking about ordinances. You can read over them here, and we also have on our website in more detail about ordinances. So we have ordinances about primes hiring from the neighborhood, wherever they're working. We have ordinances for vendors who might have energy-efficient cars. We have ordinances for small business initiatives and veterans, if you hire a veteran. We don't have veteran certification, but we have an ordinance for veterans. If a prime hires a veteran, it helps the prime. So if you're a veteran and you're trying to get work, it helps that you let a vendor know that you are a veteran. Okay. So there's several ordinances that we have. Like I said, it would take me a while to read through all of them, but if you want more information about them, they are on our webpage. So project area residents, alternatively powered vehicles, small business initiative, diversity credit program. MentorProtege. If you're a small business and you have a larger business that's willing to mentor you, that helps the prime. So whoever's doing the mentoring is probably the prime. If they mentor you and then use you, it benefits both of you. So you would have to find, we don't help you find somebody to mentor you. But if you find somebody to mentor you and you have an agreement with that company, you can contact us, let us know that you're in that agreement so that when they're ready to bid, they can say, hey, I mentored this company, they're my protege, and now I'm about to use them on a contract. So it's a sort of win-win because you learn from the larger company and then they get to use you, who they mentored, on their contract. Okay? But you have to let us know that you're doing that. And then phased graduation for certification. So now I know everybody in this room is going to be making 32, 37 million probably by next year, right? Right. So guess what? We won't throw you out the program. We graduate you out the program now. So you don't, because basically people complain about, well, it's like we get kicked out the program. But if you're making 37 million, who's going to complain? You're not going to complain. But you get to stay in the program once you get to the 37. So it's just the percentage of what you get lowers once you get to that high. But who wouldn't want that problem? I would love to have that problem, that I'm making $37 million. Okay, so basically we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we have all the social media. You can find our posts, you can find our bids, and now I'm going to take questions. Yes.
Is there any other firms out there that, so say we want to bid on a landscape bid, is there any other firms or companies out there that'll help us bid, that'll help us, since we're new, that'll help us go through the paperwork and help us submit our bid?
Well, see, that would be up to you to find someone that's willing to do that. I would 100% recommend that you go to our website to find out who already has a contract.
Okay.
Secret, there's probably no secret. Chris is one of the biggest landscapers in Chicago.
She's our mentor, Chris Love.
Okay, good. Then you got the best mentor there is. Look, she has a lot of contracts with the city of Chicago. So, yeah, we can't tell you who to go to, but that's a good one to start with if she's your mentor. But, and like you said, I would always recommend, depending on what you do, to do that search on our website. Put in your job description if you're a window washer, if you're a mechanic, any of that. Search it, find out who has the contract right now, and find out if there's any way you can do a joint venture, if you can collaborate with them. It doesn't hurt to call people, but just be prepared, because what's your goal? Face-to-face. So you got to get the face-to-face before you can do anything, because, you know, people complain all the time that primes hire the same subs. But who they hire? They hire the people they know. So if you can't, you need to be able to get in the door. You got to have a good capability statement to show them what you do. Yes.
Do you ever do just like a specific workshop on each of the bid opportunity lists, like aviation, professional services? Like, do you do specific ones?
We don't do specific workshops, but at the event next week for the construction summit, they're going to have workshops, and aviation is going to be a big part of that event next week, because aviation is about to expand out there. They're going to be looking for different vendors to have concessions. It's going to be to your advantage if you come to the construction summit and you go to the aviation workshop, because I think they're looking for like totally new, like they want something brand new out at the airport. You know, they don't want the usual stores. They're looking for new things. So we don't have workshops specifically for. Now, the only one I think we do is how to respond to an RFP. So that's a request for proposals. So that is the only one that's more specific to like what it is that we're looking for. So, you know, a request for proposal is not a bid. It's you telling about your business and how you can bring something different to the table. So we do a workshop on that. Yes, ma'am.
Does your certification have to be based in Illinois? Because I'm from Indiana, and I'm certified in Indiana. But I have a business license in Chicago as well. I can do my certification in Chicago as well, or do I have to get certified in Chicago?
Do you have an office in Chicago? So you would not qualify for the MBE WBE with the city. And your Indiana certification would not be valid on a contract here, because your business to be MBE WBE has to be in one of the 6 counties, regional counties in Illinois. So you would have to actually open a business office here.
Would I be able to use my certification in Indiana?
Yeah.
I already have if I open an office in Chicago?
No, the one in Indiana would be good for Indiana. The one for, but
Certified in Chicago.
yeah, but first you'd have to have an office, you'd have to have your staff here, the majority of your staff would be here. The only thing you would qualify is DBE, which is federal. So if you would, what do you do?
I do landscaping, I do home improvement, painting, drywall.
Yeah, so you could still qualify for DBE. And those are federal contracts. So that would be my recommendation, is for you to do the DBE. It's a free application, so everybody, DBE is free, ACDBE is free. But yeah, you would almost have to have the majority, you would have to have the majority of your staff in our 6 regions. And it sounds like most of your staff is in Indiana.
No, actually, I'm based out of Indiana, but all my work is in Chicago.
Do you live in Indiana? Yeah, so you would have to decide if you wanted to open an office in Cook County, Will County, DuPage, one of these counties closer here. So then, like I said, I would do the DBE. The other thing is, and hopefully all of you know, is the city and the county are now reciprocal. You don't have to do the county certification and the city certification. You only need one. The city will accept the county certification, and the county will accept the city certification. So if you want to go bid on something with the county, You just use your city letter and vice versa.
What about those other agencies, like
We do not take the
Chicago
state.
School or
Oh, yeah. Chicago Public School, they all take our certification. They take our certification.
state will not take yours?
They take ours too. Yeah, but they have a certification, but they will accept ours for contracts. They have one too, though. The state, they might try to get you to get theirs, but their application is much shorter than what ours was. You went through our process already, right? So the state application is not as stringent as ours. Yes, sir.
If you're certified of the state, you don't accept the state, or you do accept the state?
We do not.
Not just for the,
Not for contracts, no.
not with just, you have to do the whole process with the city.
You have to do the process with the city. Are you already certified?
I think we are, yeah, but I get confused between the city and the state.
Yeah, so the city will not accept the state certification on contracts.
The state will accept?
Yes, yes,
Oh, we're the city, right, okay, but the state, right.
yeah, yes.
Mr. Becker, when you say office in Chicago, if it's a home office, then
Yeah, you can have a home office. Yep. Yeah, you gotta have space in your home that's considered the office, though. Yeah, okay.
How long does it typically take for
What? Look at that, look at that. Well, I only want to talk about how long it could take. We've been getting applications out a lot faster than previously. So we tell people 90 to 120 days. Might not take that long, might. I cannot stress enough that when we send you an RFI, answer it. Okay? I always tell people, and they want to know, well, why do I have to send it? I already sent it. You're delaying it because we're not going to do anything until we get the information that we ask you for. So like I said, I got like 6 firms right now that I'm waiting for them to update their state license. I can't do anything until they turn it in and that they update their license. So it's going a lot faster. We do have an outside agency that helps us audit files. And we have 6 certification officers in-house. So it's getting done a lot faster. But I do try to, what? Huh? So, wait, so did anybody else, did anybody take a long time? You said, no, it did not. Okay. But yeah, we do ask that, we try to get you to respond as quickly as possible so that we can get it done. But the thing is, we're not just doing one file. I got confused today looking at 3 files at the same time, and I was like, wait a minute, I got to get this straight because you asking different people for different things. So yeah, and then I'm down here, so my files are up there, so it can get delayed sometimes. Any other questions? Is there anybody else here who's not certified? Okay. You have another question?
So if I have my application in process, how soon do you recommend like starting to network or go into pre-bid meetings, or is it too soon to jump the gun if the application?
It's not too soon to find out what are the processes. What do you do?
Project management.
Project management? So yeah, I think have you submitted the application yet? You did? Okay, so has it been assigned to anyone?
There's a name when I check the status.
Okay, so that's a good thing. It's in somebody's hands. So no, it's not too early because you want to go and talk to the different agencies to find out what is the process. So like we do a bid opportunity list every Monday. Somebody else might do theirs on Wednesday. Somebody might do it every other month. But you need to know what the process is. We have a certain day and certain time that we open our bids. You need to know that for all the other agencies. So it's not too early to start networking. What do you do, sir? Since you said you're not certified yet?
In the process,
In the process, what do you do?
fences, security cameras, some others.
Okay, so you'll be good for the construction summit. Yeah. So, any other questions? Well, we welcome you to the certification family. We're so happy that you're here. I look forward to seeing your no change affidavits 60 days before it expires. Make sure you keep up with your cert letters, and good luck. Make